Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday to us all. Let's make this a magical Monday. So I'm out here this morning in my beautiful healing space, having a chat with the angels and my guides, of course, and asking what's the most important theme for this particular week. So as I, sat into my heart and asked that question, I was told to say, is your heart expanding or is your heart contracting? I think the words they actually used was opening or shrinking. But then as I was having that deeper chat, it was expanding or contracting. So I asked, what is the easiest way for us to expand our hearts? Because all of us obviously want to expand our hearts. And they said to be open to our sensitivity. So for some of us, we're very aware of being sensitive and being able to pick up energies. And I suppose we've done it for maybe many lifetimes, but definitely I could speak for myself. I've been doing it for many, many, many years when I work with people and tuning into their body and, intuitively understanding, even when I meet somebody instantly, some of the things that are going on in their lives. And I'm talking about, the emotional stuff that's going on and maybe the hardships and the baggage that they're experiencing at that time. And perhaps they've been bringing it all the way through without resolving it or healing it. So it's a privilege for me to work with people in the healing capacity, and indeed coaching. Coaching is healing as well. So regardless of what way it happens, whether it's, working with the energy of the universe and the angels and my guides to actually bring through that really strong life force energy to help, or whether it is sitting with a deck of cards or 10 decks of cards as it is with me and bringing through the messages that way for the angels, or sitting and probing with spiritual questions for coaching. But this morning what I really want to talk to you about is sensitivity, and using your sensitivity in a way that it actually works for you. And sometimes we do need to actually go and have a little bit of help to understand this and to work with it. I'll talk about my beads in a minute, just in case you're wondering why I have these beautiful big beads around my neck. But I really want to capture this sensitivity and, checking in with our hearts, because our hearts are our compass, really, and when we feel good in our heart, good things start to happen in our lives. And, being sensitive to what you listen to, whom you listen to, what you do, what feels right for you, what doesn't feel right for you. Has never been so important, because times are changing and shifting. They're actually shifting for the better, for the highest good of humanity. And it's very important that we use our heart as the compass to move us forward, and stay away from the narrative. And I really mean that with the purest of feelings in my heart, of that fear that can be often projected, and that we can soak it in without even realizing it. At a subconscious level, if we listen to stuff over and over and over and over and over and over, we begin to run that pattern, whether we like it or not. So what I'm asking you today is to become sensitive, to become sensitive to your own heart, to your own feelings, to your own emotions, and being able to stand up and say, no, that doesn't work for me anymore, or whatever it may be. Be sensitive towards yourself first, because a lot of us sensitive beings had to learn the lesson, and maybe some of us are still learning it, a very hard way. I feel that at this point, that I do understand how to look after myself, and I'm talking about spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Whereas there was a time when I said yes, 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 when sometimes I might have meant no, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time, it doesn't feel right. So it's about putting that little boundary around things as well. But it's more about your sensitivity towards yourself, okay? So does this feel right? And I know I'm talking about this quite a bit because it's so, so important. And it's coming in over and over again when I actually check in and ask my guides and ask my angels. And this morning I really have Archangel Michael and Raphael very strongly here with me. And Raphael is basically bringing through healing even as I'm talking, because when you're listening to this, Raphael's energy is coming through, and Michael is there to protect us, you know, keep us safe, and not to buy into those fears, to cut through all that, you know, I won't say what I was going to say, the BS. And there's just so much, you know, and that's not even a judgment, because that's where someone is at, or some organization is at, or whatever. But it's our responsibility to raise our vibration and to shine our light, and that light will help others as well to awaken, to feel their own sensitivity, to feel the love that's within them, to feel the light that emanates through them and to them. So yesterday I had an advanced integrated energy therapy workshop. I had two beautiful souls here with me, and you know, we do a DNA activation and everything in this, a soul star activation, and it's just quite amazing what people feel and understand and can actually verbalize when we actually saturate ourselves with the higher vibrational energies. So we have so many opportunities to do this, you know. We have an abundant universe. Just walk outside your door, look at the plants and the trees and the birds and the oceans and the forests. I mean, there is just so much without ever even venturing for a healing session or whatever it may be. But sometimes we just need that extra bit of help, you know. So it's not a weak thing to go and have a clearing done. Actually, I went to a workshop myself on Saturday, and it was quite amazing. And there was a bioenergy tuning session in it. And it was actually, for me, it was profound. I left my body and I journeyed on, and it was like so amazing. And I felt that, you know, I cleared something massive at that workshop, you know, something that my conscious mind isn't even remotely aware of. So that was with Neve from the bioenergy, and it was absolutely amazing. She did another lovely lady with her called Sharon, and she was working on, you know, for people to be really able to understand, especially in this time, how to really be able to protect themselves and to be able to set, you know, healthy boundaries and to bring that balance back in. So it's very important that at this point in time, through this massive evolution that's going on, that we do actually really deeply take care of ourselves. And no matter where you are in the world, where you are in the country, there's opportunities available to you. Like for me, myself, I do remote sessions just as easily on Zoom as I do face-to-face sessions here in this physical room in County Meath. So, you know, we don't really have that many excuses. There's always support circles. I'm actually starting a women's circle myself. I just feel the need for community to get together, you know, for women to get together. There's lots of men's sheds around, and I just go with my feelings and what feels right. And I also want to take a few cards for us here today. So my Power to Surrender deck is here at hand. I just took 3 decks out. So what do we need to surrender to allow ourselves to become more sensitive? And when I say more sensitive, I'm actually talking about more intuitive, really. Checking in with that subtle knowing that we actually deeply have within us. And we might have layers of blankets put on top of it, but underneath all those blankets, we're all sensitive, you know, and it's just a matter of being able to tap in and to understand that sensitivity and to utilize it and use it for your greatest good and for the greater good of everybody. So what today, for this week ahead, I'm just asking my guides and angels now here. I think Angel Gabriel is on overtime at the moment. He's really trying to communicate with us and asking us to trust ourselves, to trust our gut, to trust our heart. Now, guys, 1 card for this week, please. What do we need to surrender? And let's work on this for the week. Energy, please. Here we go. Surrender to miracles. Woohoo! How good is this? Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. This is just amazing. And yesterday, one of my ladies, we had lunch in the house, and one of my students and good friends, Notice the sign that I've hanging on a candle stand saying miracles happen every day. So if we can actually just bring this in, surrender to miracles, and that's opening up our heart, everything is possible. That actually leaves nothing out. I'm just going to put that card there in front of me. I see the purple in the card, transmutation, the violet light. I work with it all day long, every day, for myself and also for my clients. I work with clients every Tuesday and every Thursday in the healing capacity, the hands-on healing. And some of that is via Zoom. So it's heart-to-heart connection, connecting with the angelic vibration first, bringing it into the hearts and working with it. So surrender to miracles. And I'm just going to take a healing energy oracle card, and this is for the week ahead. Okay, so we're in massive changing times, amazing times. Let's harness the energy. Let's work with it. Now, please, one card. What do we need to know for the week ahead? Oh my goodness, I'm seeing script and everything written in front of me. Love. A new opening, okay? When one door closes, I am confident another will open, and it will be for my betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunity and learnings they present to me. Serenity comes from within. So a new opening. So that's our opportunity this week. And there's your sensitivity. Is your heart expanding or contracting? So allow that new opening. I just answered somebody this morning that somebody that felt, like, I suppose, fearful and angry and frustrated at the fact that they are closing their small business, that they didn't feel that the support was there for them. And I did answer by saying something, small businesses are so needed, and we just need to be able to find a mechanism, to allow people to know that we're there and that we can help. But also, if you're in the energy of complaining about things, it's absolutely impossible to bring that energy vibration to you because you are not in resonance with it. But what I did say, allow this door to close gently and just watch for the new opportunities and the new doors that open. Now, whether that person received it like that or not is none of my business, but I just felt obligated to say that. I used to do a lot of following around the world Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Now, some of you may be very familiar with his teachings and with his work and with his books, and some of you may not, but basically he was an inspirational teacher that wrote many, many, many books. And I just got a love for his teachings, and I was hungry to know more. I was always very sensitive, always. And I'll tell you more stories along the way with different videos. But I just want to talk to you about these beads. Dr. Wayne Dyer did a divine love retreat where he used to live in Maui, Hawaii. And in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be able to get there from Ireland over to Hawaii to attend a divine love retreat. Now, obviously, he had many other speakers there. Remember, Anita Moorjani was one. There were a few others. There was somebody that had survived the Holocaust. I can't remember her name now, but I did buy her book and I did absorb, how powerful our soul is, and how she was in a wardrobe for like 30 days or something with 4 others. It was like a little closet, a wardrobe hidden in behind like a hidden wall, and they literally lived there for that many days. And sometimes they got a little bit of water pushed into them by like a priest that was in the area. But anyway, let's come back to the beads. So in that island, I many times meditated by myself and met with Saint Germain many times. And Saint Germain to me is, the I am presence and the violet light, the violet ray. And on my website, if you see the photograph that is on my website, it's like a cloud and a violet ray of light coming down. And if you really look, you'll see on the sand, it's deeper. On the original photograph, it's much clearer and it's much, much deeper. But I was actually doing like a meditation on the beach where I didn't want to be taken out of my body again, but I was for an hour. And then when I dropped back in, I was basically given the message to take a photograph of a particular cloud in the sky. And I was like, take a photograph photograph of the cloud. Like, you're joking me. Like, you took me out of my body and I didn't want to go out of my body on the beach. And I took a photograph of the cloud and that was the light. So it was Jermaine showing me again. So on the day that I was leaving the island and waiting for, you know, the minibus to take me back to the airport, in the hotel, in all hotels, I think, over there, they do a ceremony when you're actually leaving, and they, you know, put these beads around your neck, and these beads fall off of the trees and they're washed in the ocean for hundreds of years. You may be able to see all the salt that has been ingrained in the beads from just being walloped over and back in the ocean. And eventually when they come ashore, they're dried out, and then there, you know, there's a hole put in them, and they thread them and they give them as a symbol of you taking the light of the island with you wherever you go. So I've had these beads in the house, actually, because we moved house a few times, and I've always had them in my healing room. But since we moved here, which is almost a year and a half ago, I've had them in the dwelling house, and obviously they have done their work there, because this weekend I was told to wear them and to bring them into my healing space and to keep them in my healing space now. So that's why they're on me today, and they will be worn here in my healing space. I will put them here with great reverence. So these are the beads of light, and it's really just a reminder to take your light with you wherever you go. So we are beings of light, we are beings of love, and it's really, really a lovely thing for us to remind ourselves that wherever we go, whatever conversations we become engaged in any way, to take that breath, to become sensitive, and to ask ourselves, is this contracting me or expanding me? If it's expanding you, wonderful. If it's if it's restricting you, you just decide how you're going to end that conversation with love and with light. And with that, I'm just going to take one final card. Nobody wants to be contracted. We live in an expansive world. We're here to create, to shine our lights. Actually, there's two cards here. Angel of Clearing. How apt is this? Your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. And the other one is, woo, Angel of Manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. So if you can see this, okay, the communication and the love, okay, just look at the colors, okay, and all I can see in this is new doors, new openings. It's tying in completely to what my heart feels this morning. So I would like to say, if any of you would like to connect with me for a personal reading, a personal healing, personal coaching session, a mentoring session, whatever, you can connect with me on my website, www.lightingtheway.ie. I also have some interesting workshops coming up. So I'm doing a little bit of work on a very, very deep workshop that I'm still working with Jermaine and other angels and guides to complete it. But it's on May the 6th. So God bless you all and have a beautiful, magical Monday and week ahead. Thank you.